How's it going, guys? It's DC Girl Gamer here, and as you can see, we have a bit of a different background. You can see these little creepy guys staring at you. I have obviously Foxy, but I also have Springtrap out of the corner. They're from my Five Nights at Freddy's game, but these are on my like little Lego potted plant flower things, like. I have legit brand, obviously, and I have, like, not legit brand, as you can see, kind of, like, sprinkled in, like, these guys, and, like, these ones. Actually, like, these ones back here. This one, my favorite, though. But these are the mystery pods, even though they're not a mystery. Sorry about the camera shaking. I have a tripod set up, but it's not a good tripod. It's a very old thing I used to film on. But it can get the job done, I'll tell you that. Alright, so, as you guys know, in one of my videos, I showed what is it called? Oh, stuff that I was working on, like, while I'm waiting to get replies back from jobs, and while I also apply for jobs. So I figured obviously I showed you the flowers that I was making out of the pipe cleaners, because I have a whole shit ton of pipe cleaners that I didn't know what to do with. But as you can see, I'm bringing it over. Here they are. These are the finished ones of the. Oh my god, I forgot what they're called. I forgot what flower they are, but as you can see, they're like shaded and everything. Like they're darker in the center and they're lighter on the outside, and they got a little center. But yeah. So these are all finished. I gotta get a wire that's strong enough to support them because they're very floppy. But I wanted to show you guys how I make them. And do all the leaves and such. So yeah, I figured I'd do that today. And I've sort of already started. So basically, I'm going to be showing you how to make the flowers. How to make the non-bloomed flowers, so like the little buds. How to make the leaves. And how to put them all together and make the stems. So, first things first, I'll show you how to make. I'm making it out of black because I have a lot of black ones and I thought they'd look really pretty. But I'll show you how to make the flowers. So, first things first, we need our black pipe cleaners. And you need 5 of them. 5 sticks of them. I don't know what you call them. Sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if you call them sticks. That's what they're referred to as. So yeah. So basically, what you want to start out with is by grabbing 1 out of the 5 sticks you got. You got to measure with 3 fingers length. Fold it over till you get like that rough shape. Then you're going to want to grab some scissors. I have kitchen shears because I feel they cut through it the best. And you're basically going to line it up. If I can do this. There we go. And voila. I smacked that so hard. Do I have... I don't think I do. Okay. Alright then. And then you're going to line it up at the end to measure out a second one, because we're making each individual petal first of the flower. Oh, I hate cutting these. Can I just say that that's the biggest pain in the butt. Okay, so you got 2 short ones now, and you got a long one. And you're going to take the long one, you're going to put this one sideways, and you're going to line this up like so. And you want to make sure, like, it's not perfectly centered, but it's, like, close to it. And you want to make sure that you have it somewhat even, but not quite, so that when you fold it over, you're going to have one that's a little longer than the other, and that's going to be the one that's going to be flipped over. You put like so. And you're going to do the same thing with your second one. it over, bam. And then you're going to line these up, fold over the one corner like that, and then the other corner like so. And you got perfect startings out, and then you're going to take it like this till you get right below the bottom there. And you're going to take whatever one's shorter, whatever like side, and you're going to squeeze this together. You're going to pinch it so it's like pinched tightly. You're going to take your shorter side and you're going to wrap it around like so. Now you're going to get some sharp ends because right here you can feel like where that end is, it's sharp. So to prevent that, I take the scissors and I go along the edge like that and push it down so no more sharp edges. And then we got, voila, first petal. So I will pause it and I will make the rest of the petals, and then I will show you how we put them petals together. So we got all 5 of our little petals here. So you're going to take which one has the longest stem, and we're going to leave that one off to the side for last. Chica. Obviously, we're going to take our petals and we're going to spread them out a bit and round them a bit so they have that flower looking. So you basically just put, if you have nails it helps, but you're going to put a finger in between each little thing. Yes, you will get fuzzies all over your hands because they're pipe cleaners. Also, just a heads up, don't use good scissors when you're doing this because you will dull the shit out of your scissors. But yeah, so we got one little petal. And then, so you're going to basically take one with a longer stem and one with like a shorter stem. And we're going to put those two together. You're going to want to be careful separating the petals because you don't want any of these to pop out of the part you twisted around. You're going to want to make sure you're careful about that because I've had to undo some because it's done that. But basically when you have like your 2 little petals here all done, you're going to put two of them together. I found this way to be the easiest instead of trying to do them all 5 at once. And you're going to twist this around the short stem, around the long stem that's left. And you basically have 2 petals now together. So basically repeat on this one. I'm not going to cut away for this because this is easy. This doesn't take long to do. So basically we've got a short stem. We've got our long stemmed one. The reason you want to keep one to the side that has the longest stem or close to it is because that one is going to be the stem that remains on the bottom, so that when you make the actual like stem part out of green pipe cleaner, you're not grasping onto straws basically. So you take your 2 petals, take the shorter one, and you just wrap it around. And again, if you have that pointy edge, because you can see it right there, the shiny bit. If you have wire cutters, that'd be even better. I haven't tried cutting with wire cutters, mostly because I don't know where mine are at the moment, because I'm still unpacking, but it might get you a flusher edge in that. So basically we have 2 thingies. And then we're going to take our 2 clusters of petals, and we're going to put them together. Again, making sure it's at the bottom here. I'm going to take the shorter stem and twist it around. And we're going to make sure we get nice flat edges so you're not cutting anybody when you make these flowers or if you want to give them to somebody. Basically, I didn't even do them. I didn't even puff out the last petal. Look at me go. See what I mean? See, that's why we got to be extra super duper careful. So basically what I got to do now is unwrap what I did here at the corner. Just a good example of when I make a fucking mistake. You guys can see how I fix it. Okay. Line it up. Pinch. Take the short one and wrap tightly. Gotta make sure you wrap it tightly. Might have not wrapped it tightly enough that it loosened too much. Okay. And then last but not least, we got the last petal. to attach onto this. And we'll put this one obviously on the far end. And you're going to take the short part left over by all the rest of the petals and carefully, okay, hold on, I'm having coordination issues, carefully wrap that around. And then obviously any sharp edges, make sure you push it against something so you're not chopping your fingers up or getting little slices, because I don't know if, oh yeah, you can see. I have like little slices all on my thumbs from doing these. Okay, and then you basically just, boom, you got your little flower. Isn't that beautiful? It's beautiful. And obviously they'll look more condensed when we put the stem around the back to wrap it for when we're making the actual like flower stems and that. So now that we have that, I am going to show you how to make the little buds, because you want it to look more realistic, obviously, when you're making like these little flowers and that. So here is an example of the little bud that I made. And yes, part of it is wrapping a stem around it already. But yeah, it's just to make a little bud. And it's okay that you can see through a little bit. I know you're supposed to get like fuzzier pipe cleaners, but... So in order to make that, we're going to grab just one. You only need one. And we are going to measure again. I measure 4 fingers length to begin with, but I keep my finger here because you're going to fold it over. You're going to fold it over like so, and you're going to fold it up from the third one though. And these you can pinch. So we can pinch those. So it'll kind of look like an N with a long dangle bit off the edge, because you're going to need this. And then you're going to do it again. You're going to line it up, fold over, pinch at the top, then pinch down below again. And then last but not least, we're going to line it up, pinch at the top. Should have showed this on a lighter color. And then we have our special W. So basically, and then we're going to make sure, hold on, going to make sure all these are connected. So you're going to take this down here, and you're going to twist. I twist it twice, just to make sure. You pinch down at the bottom here so that they stay connected. So you'll pinch down by here, where these two W's connect down here. You're going to connect those 2 points and twist twice. So we have a little connector piece. See? Boop, boop. And then you do the same on the last one. You're going to leave again, keep this little bit off. You can even push it to the side like that if you want to keep track. But you're going to connect them at the end and twist, twist. Voila. Now what I usually do is, to get it to be a pointier tip, is I recommend using pliers. Don't follow my lead. I use my teeth to close them. I use my teeth to get it closer together. But I recommend using pliers. Don't use the teeth, people. That's how you ruin teeth. My teeth are already ruined though, so I'm not too concerned, but I can just pinch them for now. And you're going to want to spread this out like so. Just make a little boop and a little boop. There we go. And then you're going to take the piece, the 2 pieces that you got, the longer nub and the bigger nub, and you're going to twist it around like so it stays. And you're going to obviously flatten down whatever sharp pointy bits you got, so that you have something that looks like this. And then you're going to take this, face them all towards each other, so that you have like a little cluster of 3 like this. And you're going to want to bend each one so that they face towards the center, so that it looks like this more. And obviously you're going to adjust it, make it look more like it's a bud. You can even take the little ends and bend them outward like so. so that when it gets put together, when you're done bending them like inward like this, and then basically what I do is I do that. I'll make sure they're facing like upward more, and I will press around the edges to get my little bud. See? He's a little bud. Beautiful. So now that we have this bud, but to get it to look more like a real little bud, we'll take our green pipe cleaners. Doesn't matter what green it is. Grab whatever green you want. Ooh, that adjusted the whole thing. My bad. And you start, but basically you're going to keep a little length. Start at the base here, and this is going to wrap around down here. And then the rest is going to go up here. And you just slowly wrap around, making sure you cover whatever color. In this case, it's black. It's a nice contrast, actually, to show on camera, even though black's a little hard to see. But yeah, you kind of just make your way down the entirety of the stem. And it's super easy because you can basically take the bud in this hand, hold this pipe cleaner, and just have your finger guide down the actual stem. And it gets you as you twist. Voila. And then obviously adjust your little bud to make it look like more of a bud. Because obviously it's going to get a little squeezed. Because you're holding it. Okay. Oh, I gotta open this a little more. There we go. And voila! You got your little bud. Okay. So now that we have all our flowers, I'll put them over here. Oh. And then you have issues like this where some of them don't connect because they're so freaking small, the connections, because in that case, you can just wrap it around if it is too small, the center. That way it stays. And I know it's gonna be quite a challenge to do this one, but I think we can do it. So basically now that we have our buds and we have our flowers, we're gonna move on to leaves. Oh shit, I didn't mean to hit that again. So to make a leaf, we're going to go through making big ones and smaller ones. And I'll show you how we do that. So basically, you can measure it however you like. I'm going to do the 3 rule again to make that. But you're going to also want to make sure... we're going to do the 4 one. I forgot. We got to leave a little nubbins. Like we did for the buds. We're going to have to leave a little nub for the leaf. So basically we measure it out, and then where it stops at the 3rd one, you're going to bend that upward. But it's not going to bend upward, you're just going to mark it, because you're going to fold it around, and you're going to put it around like so. Obviously you can make this little nubbin smaller, but for right now we're just going to do this. And you're going to go around and around and around. I think that's big enough, actually. So, now that we have the size we want for our leaf, you're going to take this and fold it behind. Fold it like this. It has a sharp edge. Oh, come on, focus on the leaf, please. It has a sharp edge, you can see it, the shiny. So we press that down like usual. Oh, I didn't press down all the way. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear that scraping, but we got it underneath, and we're going to put through the middle, save a little space here, because we're going to take that part we just put through the middle, and we're going to thread it through, and we're going to pull tight. Whoop. Slipped out of my hand. So we have a leaf, and we have a stem for the leaf, and that's a small leaf. Obviously, we're going to make bigger ones than that, because there are bigger parts on leaves. So for that, I kind of just eyeball it, honestly. I just kind of eyeball it, and we kind of just rotate accordingly. And I might have made this one too big. How did I make my other one? Oh, I know what I did to make my other ones. We made this one too big, though. Hold on, I gotta make it a little... I'm trying to it's sometimes hard to remember how I make the big ones compared to the small ones, because I forget. But you basically don't need to measure too much. So there we go. Pointy edge. File that down like so. Take that, put it through here. Weave it through, and pull. And to make it more leaf-like, you adjust accordingly, and you, like, obviously make it look more leaf-like. So we have, like, a bigger leaf. It's a little bit bigger than this one, so it doesn't really matter how big or how small your leaves are. Any size is good. To make the large leaves, we are going to grab our pipe cleaner here, and we are going to fold it in half, like so. We are going to cut that it is in half. Put that to the side. So basically, I want to make 2 leaves, so you'll need 3 green pipe cleaners, all folded in half, like so. And all trimmed accordingly, so that everything is the same length. I lost you guys. Sorry. Okay, all good. I'm like, don't move. Don't move. Okay. So we're going to split these so we're left with 6 pieces. We're going to split them in half. And off there. And basically, we're going to take 2 of them, just like kind of like we did with the petals. We're going to line them up in the middle. Yes, I am aware they are the same size, but with this, they should get a little shorter. You're going to make sure we line it up somewhere close to the center. And we're going to rotate. Whatever side's longer, you put over twice. And then you do the same with this side. Whatever side's longer, you rotate. So we're left with this. And then we're going to make sure we fold them down like so. And as you can see, there's a lot, like, left over big-wise. So this, you take whatever end, honestly. It doesn't really matter because they're going to all surpass the length anyway. So basically all you want to do is make sure it's all lined up. Slide the finger down. Pinch at the bottom. Take whatever end piece, so in this case it'll be this one. And we're going to rotate around to get our leaf. Oh, Jesus. Doing this. I usually leave a little bit room in the center. There we go. So that we can do this. So we got our leaf. And when we eventually make a stem with it, we're going to feed it through the center, kind of like what we did with these guys, to lock it in place. And then we'll wrap the stem around it. Just to make it easy. Just to make things easier. Now you could say, oh, well, Terry, why don't you just cut it to make sure, like, it's a good length, or, like, a proper length. And I'm like, because I don't have time for that. I don't have a ruler with me to measure everything out like a careful person. So I basically do this, it's basically doing this without having to measure anything. And I prefer that because not everybody at home nowadays has a ruler. they're not going to have, but you know what you do have? Most people, I should say, most people that are doing stuff like this have hands. Don't come at me for being like that. But if you're gonna attempt to do a handcraft, you may or may not have hands. I will say having hands makes it easier. I couldn't imagine doing all the stuff I do without having a hand or hands. So there's that. So basically, now we've got our second leaf done, and we gotta make sure it comes to a little point at the top. And then we just kind of fan it out. And we got second numero dos leaf. And we're gonna make a couple more of these bad boys, so I will be right back. Okay. So now that we have our leaves of all varying sizes now, I actually successfully made a bigger one. Don't ask me how. It was just doing the wrapping tutorial like I was showing you guys earlier. Just doing the same old, same old. What I like to do is I like to put a small one of the smaller leaves, like one of these guys, by a bud. Like, maybe having it, like, up close here or down a little further. Like, it all depends on what you guys want. I want it a little further down. But we're basically, you're going to take the same technique we were doing. Right, is that how I do with this? Yeah, you're going to... I didn't think about that. And to lock it in place so that... Where's the freaking white fuzzy come from, man? I'm not wearing anything white. So basically, to lock it in place, you're going to wrap this around once where you would like it. And what I do is I wrap it around the back and come around the top of the leaf here. This is if you have room. If you don't have room, don't worry about it. I'll show you how we do that later. But basically, to make like a little X here, you can faintly see it. And you just wrap the rest then down the stem. And voila, our leaf is attached. And we have a leaf on the bud. Now, I'm gonna grab the example over here that I already finished. See, I put one closer to these buds, and this one, oh. Stop. Okay, and this one down a little lower. And I also did the same with the leaves by the flowers. So I have like some down there, closer to the flower. Some, I think I gave them each in one, actually. I did give them each a leaf. I don't know why I did that. I gave them each a leaf. I don't have enough for that, so we're going to have some of them that don't have leaves this time. But yeah. So we're going to grab one of our flowers. And we're going to grab one of the leaves. And to get it, we're going to take the leaf. And you're just going to wrap it around like so. And you're going to... This isn't like... Okay, there we go. And you're going to wrap around the black so that it covers it. You don't want that black paper cleaner there showing, especially when we go to put on the big thing. So obviously we'll have a little nubbin that'll get covered up after. Oh god, I really messed up the way that one looks. So we have a flower with leaf now. Put that one to the side. And because I don't have enough leaves like I did for my other ones, we're gonna get, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, be right back. Let me make another leaf. I'm gonna make a smaller one for one of the buds because I want to have at least 2 of these have leaves. Be right back. I have at least one more smaller leaf, so we're gonna make this bud go right up against this one. And we're gonna do it again when we make our little X so that we feed it around, and then we bring it around, turn it, bring it around the back, and tighten it into, oops, come on, tighten it like so. There we go. Is that our bud? Oops, I squeezed it in, no. There we go. So that our bud has leaf. We're going to choose 2 more flowers, preferably ones with stems. so that we can take this and cover the bottom, like so. Bam. Flower with leaf. We'll choose one more. We'll do this one. And it's just a basic putting the base of this up against the base of this. I know it's hard to see. And then twisting. Twisting around until you get that all lined up nice. As you can see, we only have a little nubbin for this leaf. Because this leaf is a little bit bigger. But that's okay. That happens, you know, it happens. So now we're going to start working on the stem parts. And this is where it gets a little tricky. You're going to make sure you have lots of green pipe cleaners on hand. Just grab a whole crap ton. Make sure you have them to the side of you because you will be using a lot. I have rubber bands on them to keep them together, to keep the bundles together. So I will be taking, ow, smacked my hand, that hurt. Cheeky, what the fuck? There, stay. So I will be taking that off so that I can do this proper. So we're going to start off with this one. The one that doesn't have a stem. It has nothing. It's got a nubbin. And we're going to try and find a way to get it so we can get something, you know? We want something. Actually, what happened to that piece that we... No, it's not that piece, I don't think. I think these two are connected. This piece that we wrapped around... Oh, for God's sakes, this is going to be harder than I thought. Basically, what I try to do is oh, wait, actually, here we go. We got a loose piece here. And we're going to take that. And we're going to find the loosest one we can. And you're going to wrap that around, obviously, its base, as basiest as you can get with that stem. And you're basically just going to twist, so we have it like that. It doesn't show up, which is nice, because obviously it's down too far. And you're going to want to make sure that when we do this, you hold the cluster of these petals close at the base here. So you're going to need to do that, basically. Because we're going to wrap it around like so. We're basically making the place, like you see how the buds are? We're basically making this, but on the big flower. And it keeps it nice and posed together like this, like so. So you're gonna want to make sure you wrap it nice. Oh, for God's sakes, I'm screwing this up left and right today. It's harder to do it. All right, hold on. I'm gonna pause it, and obviously you guys get the idea of how to do it. I'm gonna pause it so I can bring it in front of my face so I can see it. It's hard to do it when there's a phone in front of me. I got our whole base wrapped, and basically what I'm gonna do to make sure it doesn't move is I'm gonna tuck the end part, the part we have left over, underneath. I'm gonna try and get it as much as I can. There we go. That's what you want to see. And we're gonna pull it through like so. And then you basically adjust your flower accordingly. And bam. Tighter together. Nice. Have a flower. And it stays. Had to do the little shaky. Had to do the little shaky test. Now, obviously, we're not done here with this. We got a whole ass flower, but we gotta support the stem more. So we're gonna take another piece, and you know how we weaved it through, so it's like right there on that side. We're gonna go through on the other side, basically. Shove this in, so it pops out. I didn't want it to pop out there, but we're close enough. Ah! The pipe cleaner is getting stuck. And basically, you pull out as much as you want, because we're going to take this part and we're going to get a closer wrap to the top part. So you see how we left off like here? We want to get this up a little higher. The best thing, in my opinion, to do is put the flower face down, holding it like so, on like a table, flat surface, what have you, and you basically just twist. I feel like I yanked all of that off. And then if you pull upward like so, you have your conical shape and your little flower still. Now we have 2 stems that when we take, basically, we can wrap around this one around the longer one. And that's how we get to building up thicker stems. This obviously isn't how I was able to do the original. This is just if you have a stemless little flower, because it is easier when you have the stems like left on the back of the flowers. This is just a very janky way to do this one. And you're always going to be constantly adjusting, obviously. So basically, we have our flower with our extended stem here. Not too bad. It still looks like shit. It comes together at the end, I will admit. It does come together at the end. Now, what you can do, and I do recommend you do this, is we're going to take one of the flowers we did with a leaf here. Got that little nubbin stem down there, and I'll show you how we do this one. So we're going to put this one that we just did to the side for now. And we're going to grab our pipe cleaner, and we're going to pass it over the leaf, but behind the petals here. I don't know if you can see that. And we're basically going to do like we did with the bud, where we have this little part down here to mesh with this. And then we'll take this, and again, while holding your flower, I'm actually going to show you this time. So I'm going to have it face the table a little more. I'm going to hold the flower down like so, like legit smack in the table. Make sure you clump it together, make sure it's nice and tight. You're going to take this longer part that we have tucked in front of the leaf, and you're just going to go like so. Just like this. Making sure you're doing it nice and tight now. I can't tell if I'm doing that right. Yes, I am. Just like so. Obviously make sure it's nice and tight. You don't want no loose flowers. Don't want no loose stems. And put that, smack that. Gotta face it up a little more. Sorry. So now that we have it nice and tight down there, we fill in the black, and then now that it's filled in, we put the leaf up there, and we cross it over, under the leaf now, under where the leaf is. And we continue downward, just like so. Bam. Voila. Beautiful. We do finishing touches that'll make it nice in the end, believe me. I know. Okay. So now that we have this one, we're going to take this one, and to make this, I'm actually going to make a bit of like a twofer branch right here. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to start by putting where we would like our placement to be. So, like, I would like them very close to each other. And I'm going to actually have the leaf facing a little closer to this one as well, so it can show, like, oh yeah, that's the leaf for it. So the base of this one, we're going to have this little nubbin here wrap around, like so. There we go. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this now, is you're going to feed it through the top part of where you're splitting this, so that we have that little nubbin again, so we can lock it in place. We want to make sure we lock it in place so it's nice and sturdy and it doesn't fall apart on us. We are going to take our longer end and we're going to wrap it around a couple times on this side, the left side here, and then switch it over to the right side, wrap it around a couple times on the bottom here to secure it. And then, now that we have that secure, you're going to pull, holding the base of the two, and we have them connected nice and tightly too, might I add. And you're just going to basically, so you're going to hold the end here, and you're going to just go down and wrap. And what you can do is you can continue going down, wrapping it all the way down to the length of this one. However, I want to put a bud coming out like the side up top here. So I am gonna go back up after I just was down. And till we get to about the base. So, and then I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna take this part once we get closer to the base here. Wrap it like that. And now it's on the other side, so I can put that bud in. So I'm going to take the bud now. Doesn't matter if it has a leaf or not. You can choose one with a leaf. Doesn't matter to me. And to do this, we're going to basically do like we were doing earlier. Oh gosh, it's hard to see. Sorry. I want it to stick out. So I'm basically I'm gonna do that. But now we have a bit of a predicament because we have this little part sticking out, but we still have this down here. So you're gonna wrap it as tight as you can to where it stuck out. So as you can see, it's a little bit messy, but that's easy to fix. It's easy to fix with another pipe cleaner. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down here, lock it in place by doing what we normally do. Actually, I gotta go down further. We're gonna lock it in place down here. Spiral it up. You can do big spirals. No one's gonna see it that well. Feed it through on this side now. And we're gonna make sure... Yeah, see? That's exactly... Make sure it's nice and tight. And then you're going to see this little black spot here, and we're just going to cover that up like so. You're going to wrap it around completely. So basically what I did was, to cover that black spot up, is you took it, wrapped it around to cover it, made a complete circle here, and we're going to do that twice. And then we're going to attach it back to here. So we wrapped it around, attach it back here by wrapping around. And we're going to just pull it, you're going to hold, you can see it's a long part of the stem, you're going to hold, pull as tight as you can to get it locked in there. And then now we work our way down the stem. Like so. Because you don't want the stuff moving. And voila. So now we have our little bud coming out of our little cluster here. And you can certainly adjust, like put the bud on this side, put the flowers over here. We do have I feel a sharp edge here. So we're going to take our scissors and just smooth it out. Just use a flat edge to smooth it out. Or if you're wearing actual, like, work gloves, that'll work too. But yeah, so we have our first, I don't like the way this sits. There we go. We have our first, basically, little cluster. And you're going to make individual branches like this, and we put them together at the end, basically. So we'll put this one to the side. Put that out to the side. And we'll do it 2 more times, so we'll have a total of 3 branches. Now, obviously we have the ones with the leaves. To wrap one with a little black stem, but still has a little stem on the back of it, unlike the one black one we did. It's actually a lot easier. We basically still make that little nub. You're going to twist it on to your little black edge, have that little part stick off like that, and you're going to basically do the same thing where you hold the flower down. Make sure you got it the way you want it to lay. You can adjust it. It is possible to adjust, but you're going to want to place basically each finger in each petal to do this. And I know. Actually, let me get a little closer. I gotta wrap it a little closer to get to the top. But, so we got each finger in each petal. Hold it tightly where you'd like it, and wrap. Okay. And voila. We got our sort of little stem. And we basically just run it down like so. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can do it however you like. You're making it. But yeah. You just want to kind of get it to look like it's a flower, you know? So basically, for this one, I'm going to attach a bud with a leaf this time, since this flower does not have a leaf. And we're going to be attaching it like so. And it's actually nice because we actually have 2 longer bits that we can just wrap around for now. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, they're going to stab me. Ow, that freaking hurt. So now we have this little blossom here. You're going to feed this through the little intersection here. And we're going to get that little nubbin so that we can lock it in place, like we have been, by wrapping it around this bottom part here. And we're going to wrap it around twice. Or actually, yeah, we're going to wrap it around twice, this base of the flower. Move over to the bud here. Wrap it around twice of the bud so it's nice and connected, yeah? And then we're gonna wrap around the little nubbin that we have left. There we go. Adjust our flower because obviously we smacked it. I hate the way that looks actually. Okay. If you don't like the way the branching is looking, you can literally pull it down like this, take this, and wrap it around a couple times, and just go boop, and bam. Better branching. But obviously make sure, like, it's in place. Like, you don't have to redo the whole thing. But yeah. So we got this little thing here. And for this one, we're going to want to make the stem a little longer, and then we're going to attach, like, the flower, like, with a leaf, like, down further on this branch. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the pipe cleaner, put it about halfway this time. That should be good enough. We're going to take this short nubbin part that was left over from doing the wrapping to these two together, And we're going to wrap it around the 2 pipe cleaners we just put. We're basically going for extra and I know it looks a little thick in that, but once you get all the clusters together and stuff, it does look a lot like nicer. And then we'll basically just rotate this one, whatever one you want to, it doesn't matter. If you make them the same length. And we'll get it to a length that we want it, because then you're going to take, so I want it about there, which is about this far from the branch. So we're going to take our leaf, we're going to take our flower with the leaf, and we're going to put it on. You're going to put the base of where you left off with this nubbins, and you're going to take it and go like this, wrap it around. So it's nice and secure. And then you'll take this part that was left over, put it behind the flower you just connected, like so. Put it forward, and continue wrapping. It's a sharp edge. That was probably the easiest connection ever. But as you can see, this is not the way we like to do the flowers. And we do need more stem. So we're going to grab another thing, obviously. We're going to put it at the connection point here. Then we connected the two. You're going to wrap this down. Doesn't matter how you wrap it, because we're going to be going over it anyway. And you're going to want to wrap this around a couple times with this stem. Wrap this around. Then go to the other stem. And we're going to want to go up here. On top of the leaf. So if you need to move the leaf, just push it out of the way. And we're basically gonna grab the flower and make a little budding area that it came from. So there we go. We got that little budding area. And we can put the leaf back up. And we got this now. Basically, you just wrap your way down like so. Down to stem. Voila. So now we have basically a second branch. Don't worry, we'll add that after. So our second branch is done. Put that to the side. And that branch is a shorter branch, which is fine. It's allowed to be short. Guinea pig fur. We're going to grab another one of the flowers. Actually, I'm going to pause it because this video's been going on for almost an hour. And I am going to wrap these guys up all nice and proper so we have them ready. Be right back. Okay. So that took a little longer than I wanted it to. I had to deal with a wasp in my apartment. If you can't tell, I'm very anxiety stricken right now. I'm like literally shaking. I absolutely hate wasps and I hate hornets. I had a bad experience as a child. I had a wasp end up in my bed in the middle of the night because we had an infestation when I lived in my childhood home. So I'm like, it's trapped in the window right now. I don't know if it's still there. Because the windows are all shut. I literally opened a window, it went in there. I was like, oh sweet, and I slammed the fucker in there. And I keep looking. Because I'm so freaking, like, scared. But yeah, I've had bad experiences with wasps, with, hornets. Like, my best friend when I was little stepped on a hornet's nest outside of her place. And it's why I'm not scared of other bugs that buzz, but if they get too close to my ears, I will have a mini panic attack. Because all I remember is the hornets getting stuck in my hair, and my friend's mom had to pick them out of my hair because it was that bad. Okay, anyway, I'm sweating up a storm now. I'd like to finish this video. So to connect these leaves to the base, I'm going to locate the center. Doesn't really matter where the center is, but you're going to weave through, and you're going to go about halfway. Sorry, these pipe cleaners are so freaking, like, old. But we're basically just going to locate the center, wrap it around, bam, got a leaf. And then we'll take one of our branches, so say like this branch here, and we'll just put it down here. We're going to connect these two, and we're going to wrap, oops, I'm going to wrap this part around like we have been. And that's how you attach the leaves, the big leaves, to the branches and that. Okay, I'm gonna turn it. There we go. Alright, here we have it. I'm gonna attach this leaf to another one of my branches I have, and I'll be right back again. Okay. News update on the wasp while I was attaching these leaves. I did see it in the window still. It's still in the window. It's still trapped in the window. I hope it fucking dies from the heat wave we're having. Just gonna put that out there. Alright. I have all three branches. We got branch... We have branch number 1. I'll tilt it down actually so you guys can see it a little better. We got branch number 1. I fucking hate how this will turn. There we go. We got branch number 1. Beautiful. We got branch number 2. A little more condensed, but still beautiful. And we got branch number 3, which I don't know what the hell it's doing. But still, it's beautiful. Flowers are going every which way. It's fine. There, that's a little better. It's still beautiful. There, that's better actually. Alright, so now, the piece de resistance, we are going to connect all of the branches together. So we're going to go to the bottommost part where it's not as thick, and we're just going to kind of dry pile them together. And it is okay if they're different lengths. So we got that. And we're going to start by the smallest one. I'm going to start by wrapping that around. And I'm going to grab the second smallest one, which is this one. And we're just going to continue wrapping that around. And then obviously the third smallest. Actually, I can go this way. Continue wrapping that around. And we're gonna, so we have this, but as you can see, it's like very, very floppy in that. This is a little too thin. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take an end of the pipe cleaner, and we're gonna obviously shove it in between here, lock it in place first, and we're gonna take this, wrap it around, put it through, wrap it around again, make sure it's nice and tight. And then we're gonna, so we wrapped it around twice now. The third time we go to do it, we're gonna go to the second branch here. We're gonna take that, put it through, wrap it around this second branch twice. If you need to pull tight, put it on a flat surface, hold it down and pull. Don't be afraid, it's not gonna fall apart on you. If it does, just take it apart, try it again. And then for the third one, and obviously we wrap it around twice, and then, Jesus, it's hard to do this. Then we go to the third branch, and we wrap it around twice. Make sure you pull nice and tight, and then come down here, and we wrap it around the big branch, and we go down said big branch until we are done. It's took a lot longer than I thought it would. I didn't realize how long it actually takes to do this, because we've reached exactly the hour mark, so. But yeah, and then, basically, you can position them however you want, but it's our finished branch. Look at that. And obviously, if you don't want it to be floppy like mine, get stronger wire. Believe me, I've looked. It's hard to find. I would literally have to go to a craft store, and I don't have money for that at the moment, so this is gonna do, I guess. And I wish I could... Oh, I can zoom out a little, actually. So I'm gonna... Hey! Look at that! Beautiful! Now you can see the whole branch. But yeah, if you're picking them up, obviously, you pick it up, they flop, they're heavy. So if you pick them up, make sure you hold your hand underneath them. I feel like it'd make a really good, like, little piece in general. And obviously, you guys don't have to do, like, exactly what I did. This is just the way I did it because I wanted to do it this way. I twisted the branch around so it would look more condensed. Look at that. They're so pretty. And now, for the final thing, I actually have to go get it, so I will be right back. I have it. Chica keeps fucking moving. Okay, turn this. That way she can sit back a little bit. Alright, I got my beads. I'm gonna open said beads, and we're gonna gravitate towards... Actually, move the scissors so I can get this on camera. And we're gonna gravitate towards these ones, actually. It's hard to kind of see the beads. Actually, there we go. Turned on the brightness a little bit so you guys can see it. But yeah. They're like a pearlescent type thing. So we're going to take these, and you could take hot glue. I don't have a plug nearby where I'm doing this, but tacky glue works just as well. Got this from the dollar store. Works super well. You can use any sort of like tacky glue. As you can see, it's got fuzzies on it from when I did the other ones. If you were doing this with a colored pipe cleaner, like I did, like you saw with the purple ones, you would take like an eyeshadow palette, or well, mostly an eyeshadow palette. If you have a pigment palette, that's great actually. Where the frick did I put my... Oh, I put it on the ground. This is the eyeshadow palette I use to shade because it has lots of colors. Open it up for you guys so you can see. It has lots of colors to choose from. Some of them are shimmery. You're going to want to go for more of the matte ones in that. But basically, you'll take one. Obviously, you'll use that to shade in what you need to. So, what we're going to do now is, as you saw, I put a cluster of, I put like 1 in the middle, and then I put 4 in the outside. I want to try just putting like 3 of these pearlescent type things in the middle of one of the flowers. So we're going to do that. So you're going to basically fill the little center of the flower. It's beautiful. You're going to take your beads. Make sure you put them sideways. You don't want the holes to show in that, because they do have holes. Unless you like that, then that's fine. I mean, if you want to cover up the holes, you can too. You can like put them hole facing upward and then put like little things in them. But yeah, I think that'll look cute when it's all dry. It does dry clear, so that's also nice. But yeah, I'm going to finish gluing all the beads into them, and I'll show you the final result at the end. Okie dokie. I have finished gluing the beads in. So basically, obviously, if you ignore all the little, like, gluey parts in that, which will dry clear like you saw with the other one I did. Just making sure they're all in there right. Because the pipe cleaners have a tendency to absorb the liquid glue very quickly, and these have a tendency to pop off. So I'm just making sure. But yeah, as you can see, that is what our finished result will basically look like. And I don't like how it's so bright you can't even fucking tell what you're looking at. I'm gonna see if I can try and change the light color. That's an LED light. that didn't really help it much. And this is a warm light, which doesn't help it either, so I'm just gonna go back to the daylight one. But yeah. That's basically the tutorial for my flowers. I wish I could remember. They're not... It's not an azalea. Is it? No. I don't think so. What? I'll put it in the title of the video. when I put this up, I'll figure out which one it is, and I'll put it in the title. Because I'm not sure. I don't remember what it's called. I'd have to look up. I literally looked up a tutorial on just how to, like, refresh my memory on making, like, the petals and stuff. Because the way they do it was they, like, wrap elastic around each petal bottom, and then they wrap elastic around to connect it. And I was like, that's a lot of work. I just want to work with what I have. I don't want to add a whole bunch of complicated shit and stuff. So, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please leave a like. It really helps a lot. Give me any suggestions on what you might want me to make, like, next out of pipe cleaners. I do have a lot left. I have, like, a huge chunk left. Hold on, I'll show you. Get my bag of pipe cleaners together. I've got a crap ton. I got lots of black ones left still. Not a lot of green ones left. I might have to go get some more of those. But I still got a lot left, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, I do have these green ones. I do have those green ones, which are different green, as you can see. But, yeah. Anyway, this video's gone on long enough. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in whatever I do next. Bye, everybody.